Karl Konrad and welcome to our weekly edition of Australian Immigration News, proudly brought to you by Australian Immigration Law Services right here in the heart of Sydney. First tonight, let's cover the disastrous problem with the partner skills points, and then I'll go on to outline the new DAMA of Western Australia. The partner points allocation has been a disaster in the making for many years. Hundreds of people are now being refused their skilled visa applications for the 491, 190 and 189 visas simply because they got married after they applied. On the 16th of November 2019, the current version of the points test came into force. Over the years, the Immigration Department, on their inquiry line, repeatedly told people, "Don't worry, your residency application won't be affected if you get married." Clearly, they were just reading their own website when giving that advice. Here is the department's webpage back in February of this year. It had been like this since November 2019, where it stated, "All points criteria are assessed at the time of invitation." Of course, this implicated that partner points too was time of invitation criteria. However, that was never the case, but the department kept spinning that line. Recently, they modified their pages after a complaint we lodged earlier in the year. Now it states, the applicant must satisfy most criteria specified in the points test at the time of invitation. Yes, that is true, but they fail to say it is only the partner skills that is specified at the time of decision. All the rest are at the time of invitation. And then further down the department's webpage, this little asterisk appeared with an explanation. If your marital status changes during the processing of your visa, we may not award you points for this item. We do not assess this item at the time of invitation. It took them over 4 years to correct this mistake, and why not put this warning at the top of the page? Be careful that your partner skills are assessed at the time of decision, not at the time of invitation. Earlier this year, a visa applicant came to us after waiting for more than 4 years for a case officer on their 189 visa. The department asked the family to do medicals twice during this period. Originally, the agent who lodged the application told them, "No problems if you get married after you apply. It won't affect your visa application." So of course they did. They also started a family with 2 kids and asked the department to add them to the application with no idea what was coming their way. Earlier this year, the department sent them a notice to comment with the intent to refuse the application, so they came to our office for help. We responded to the case officer and told the department all the mistakes on their website that would lead anyone to believe getting married was assessed at the time of invitation. However, they simply ignored our concerns and simply refused the application. They then quietly updated the webpage afterwards, hoping no one would notice their error. If this visa applicant had known earlier, they could have submitted another 189 EOI, received another invitation, and lodged another 189 visa application. But no, the department put the application on hold for more than 4 years and then told them nothing. Tonight we are speaking with Shamal, who is another visa applicant but faces the same issue. He applied more recently in September 2023, but the outdated information was still on the department's website. Shamal works as an IT professional in Melbourne and was sponsored by the Victorian government for his visa application. Tonight he has decided to speak out on the program to warn others not to fall into this trap, the trap of simply doing what most people dream of, getting married. I caught up with Shamal earlier in the week. Hi, Shamal. Thanks for coming on the program today. Much appreciated.
Hi, Karl. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure. So today we're talking about your bitter experience with the department regarding partner points and how that's going to affect you. Now, with the partner points, it is time of decision, but beforehand, the immigration told you another story. So would you like to tell us what's happened?
Yeah, I lodged my 190 visa application last October when I got nominated from Victoria. And at the time, I was single, but my wedding has already been planned out to be held on December. And after getting married, I informed the department about my change in circumstances, and they said, you don't have to worry about anything. and you could even add your spouse to your ongoing visa application, which I did. And they said that they asked me about specifically whether this is at the time of I submitted my ROI, or whether this is at the time of I got the nomination. So what they said was my points calculation is already been done and it is fixed. You don't have to worry about anything. You just submit this form 1436, adding your spouse to your existing visa application. Because I saw there were comments on that it would be affected, and I even clarified because when I received the invitation, I was single and I got 10 points, but after getting married, I lose 5 points for because my partner does not have the skill assessment. So I was curious about whether I would have to do anything or whether it would become a problem for my existing visa application. But they said no, there is no problem. You could add your spouse to my ongoing visa application.
And that was before you got married. So you checked with the department before you got married just to be sure that that was okay?
I did check with them. Then at that time also it was the same case. And even after I got married, I informed the department and told me about my situation, because I just want to clarify whether things have changed or not. But even when I called, so I called the department twice regarding this, and it was the same information that was given to me. So I was all right. Then I just add my spouse to my ongoing visa application and stay put until a result comes back. Yeah, but after learning that there could be an impact, and I was not told the truth, I was surprised.
Yeah, so you're aware now that given your circumstances, it's highly likely your visa application will be refused because already many people have been refused before you.
Yes. After learning that it would be refused, I again called the department to see what their response was. And I was surprised that now they are telling me a different story, because now they are saying that I should be waiting until a case officer gets back to me. And normally the points would be checked at the time of visa grant. So it's like two different stories that I've been told. I'm very surprised what they are telling me at that time.
And had you known this before you lodged your application, what would you have done differently?
Yes, it's really frustrating what the department does here, because as an applicant, if I want to apply for permanent residency, I would be definitely checking out the points table on the department's website to see what are the criteria that are out there and how many points that I would be getting. Right now, it's taking at least an year for the department to process 190 visa application. And the points that you get for most of the criteria do change over time. So why partner skills are being evaluated at the time of visa grant? Obviously, age cannot be evaluated at the time of visa grant. So if you enter into a relationship, why that is being checked at the time of visa grant? If I had known that earlier, I would have never lodged a visa application. And if you go to the department's website now, you would see that under partner skills section, they have added a special clause saying that it is evaluated at the visa grant, but it was never mentioned earlier. And even when I submitted my visa application, there was no warning about it. In Live in Melbourne website, you have a statement, but that is again related to submitting ROI, but not after you submit your visa application. So it's really sad what they do to you, and it's really unfair because as the primary applicant, I'm being penalized for entering into a relationship. That's so unfair.
Yeah, and it's crazy that now they're talking about, perhaps partners who have skills should be given more points. So we have this sort of reversal sort of situation. And the other problem is that you were sponsored by Victoria for 190. You could have waited, simply got married, and then put in your registration of interest, isn't it?
Yes, definitely. I would have waited if I known that there could be an impact on this. but I didn't know about anything. I got the invitation from Victoria and I lodged my visa application. And then even when I called the department, they didn't say anything about it. But now I have come to know that there could be an impact.
Yeah. And the other problem is that Victoria's already, you've got a good job in IT field in Victoria, so you're eligible for sponsorship. But in reality, Victoria may not sponsor you again because you've already taken one of their places.
Yes, it's really sad because I didn't know that there would be an outcome like this. Because if I stayed put and if I got my spouse skills assessment, I would have submitted the ROI this year and would be nominated again because of the points and everything. But yeah, it's really unfortunate that they have set rules that you don't know. I mean, it can be a complex process, but I think the department should let know the people what's happening. So that the transparency is not there, I believe.
Let's hope the department can, be flexible on this issue and show some common sense. There's still time in relation to your application, but we are aware they've already refused many applications already. What they would do about those, I'm not sure, but fingers crossed for you. And thanks for coming on the show. At least we can tell people to be wary and what not to do.
Thank you so much, Karl, for giving me the opportunity.
So take care and let us know how you go with communication with the department later on.
Sure, will do.
We thank Shamal for his bravery in speaking out about his application. He knows that the application's future looks bleak, but he agreed to the interview to warn others not to make the same mistake. Hopefully he will receive another visa invitation in the near future and lodge the application again. And a quick reminder for everybody, when you claim points on your expression of interest and when you get a case officer to assess those points, if you do not reach the points that you have claimed, your application gets automatically refused. Amongst all the important law changes on the 1st of July, we forgot to mention that Western Australia has considerably extended its Designated Area Migration Agreement Program, known as DAMA. The good news is that the extended program includes now metropolitan Perth as a DAMA region. When you click on the Western Australian DAMA occupation filter on their website like this, choosing Perth as the location and perhaps the 482 visa, which is the most common, you will see this extensive list of occupations available. Now, the DAMA program requires finding an employer to sponsor you, which is the hard part. And if they haven't got business approval yet, they will have to apply to get approved under this DAMA system. It's not an easy process, but it does exist and many people do get sponsored. The 482 visa is the most common pathway for the DAMA hopefuls, and then later 3 years for Perth and 2 years for regional WA, you can be sponsored for PR. And like all 482 visa to PR process, you still need the employer to sponsor you to obtain permanent residency. When you click on the individual occupations, you can find what concessions are available, such as age, usually up to 55. Now, take chef here as an example, and you can read the details. Now, regarding the 4-age cap disaster, there have been many rumours that the Green Party may yet assist by trying to block the legislation, but I have not been able to get confirmation on this as yet. If any of our viewers know something concrete, then please let us all know. The possibility of a class action takes time to discuss with the big firms that handle such a process, so please stand by for more information later. Now, we receive hundreds of comments each week on our YouTube channel, so as we see any inappropriate remarks or indeed any racist ones, we delete them straight away and ban the instigator. However, sometimes they make comments after other people's comments and they are harder for us to notice. Please send us an email, as one viewer did this week, to highlight one of the nasty remarks that needed deleting. We have zero tolerance for such comments on this channel, and the great thing about YouTube is that they are gone and forgotten with one press of a button. As always, if you need help, you can book a consultation online on our website, or if you need one earlier, just pick up the phone and two delightful staff, Pat and Hay, will try and squeeze you in sooner. As always, take care out there, and I will see you next time, so bye for now.